Okay. So today's training, guys, is called Follow Up Like a Boss. Right? Like that, huh? You got Follow Up Boss. I want you to learn how to follow up like a boss, right? That's what we're talking about today. What prompted me to do this training, guys, is we're out there making calls, right? We got a lot of leads in our CRM, right? We have an abundance of leads. It's not about the leads, right? But it's about the quality of calls that we're making. When we are following up with people, are we approaching them with the right strategy, with the right mindset? Are we delivering value on the calls? Because the more that you can figure that part out, where you can have the right strategy, the right angle, be more valuable on the call versus just, hey, I'm calling to check in, right? The more that you'll be able to take these calls to the next step, whether it's an appointment for a consult, a lending consultation, whether it's to meet them to show a home, whether it's to come walk by their property and check it out. And that's how you go from like making 100 calls to book one appointment versus making 20 calls and book one appointment, right? Who would like to make less calls and book more appointments? All of us, right? And so it's not so much about activity is the baseline, right? Like you got to make calls. That's first and foremost. If you're not making calls, none of this matters, right? I'm assuming we're all making calls. So, but now what kind of calls are we making? So that's what we're going to focus on today. Because there's that old saying, right? That the fortune is where? Fortune is in the follow-up, right? It's in the follow-up. In fact, most of the time when you do get a lead, it's rare that you're converting that one, right? Or it's a small percentage that you convert from lead to appointment right away or to like, hey, let's look at a home. A lot of times it's like, I have to talk to this lead multiple times and keep engaging them until they say, okay, let's meet. Okay, let's look at a home. Let's do that, right? Would you guys agree with me?
Yeah, no, I mean, just to kind of piggyback off that, when I had my meeting with Zillow this on Wednesday, we pulled up the stats, and our average is about 4 months. So meaning a client comes in within 4 months, we're transacting. Right, so that's in the follow-up.
Yeah, there you go, right? So what's happening within those 4 months, right? A lot of calls, a lot of conversations, a lot of text messages, but how do we be more effective on those, right? So that's the mindset here. So I got a little thing that we're going to follow, just kind of an agenda, and then I want to do some role playing with you guys, right? So you guys can take some action on this. So let me share my screen, and you guys can follow along, and I'll make this doc available for you guys as well. Follow up like a boss training. Okay. So topic, obviously, mastering follow-up with leads and database in Follow-Up Boss, right? So we want to equip you guys to use Follow-Up Boss more strategically. Is it a little hot in here? Can we turn the AC on? Anybody? Yeah, it's a little warm. Will anybody hit the AC? Follow up more strategically, personalize your approach, and convert more leads into appointments, right? So I always like to start off with mindset. What's the mindset and goal of every call? Number one is you are not just calling to check in. I have heard some people say that, right? I'm not going to point any fingers, but I've heard some of you guys' calls where, hey, it's me, just calling to check in. If you're saying that, your chances of moving that thing forward have just dropped dramatically, right? So I want you guys to remove that from your vocabulary or remove the check-in mentality. And I want you to start having the mindset of my job is to identify timing, motivation, deliver value so that I can move that to an appointment, right? So you want to be more intentional, not just a blank, open canvas of checking in, right? But what are you checking in about, right? And so that's where we're going to kind of go through a framework here. So every call should aim to answer this. Is the lead still active, right? I want to know, is the lead still active, right? I want to know what their timeline is. I want to know what their motivation is. Is their motivation still the same? Maybe I talked to them 3 months ago, 6 months ago. Is it still the same motivation, right? And can I solve a problem or create some sort of urgency today? Because without a problem or without any urgency, there is no reason to move it to the next step. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Okay. So buyers, let's just throw it out there. Buyers, what are typically problems for a buyer or things that would create urgency that would want to make them move to either consult, seeing a home, lending consult, right? What would we just throw some of those out? If you're at home, throw it in the chat. Their lease is ending, right? Great. Lease is ending. Now, like I got to make a move, right? Either I got to renew my lease, find another place, or maybe now I got to start finding a home, right? What else? Kids going to school, right? Something like that, right? Kids need to go to school, or kids are getting out of school. So now's the time to make a move. Job relocation, right? Tanya wrote that. Perfect. Hey, I got the job relocation. Hey, is the job relocation still the main motivation here, right? Because then you can start talking about that versus like, hey, I'm just calling to check in. How's everything, right? Like, you see those two different things, right? Versus, hey, John, it's Enrique. I'm calling to follow up, on the job relocation, thing that you were going through. Whatever happened with that? You see how that's a lot different than just like calling to check in, right? So you need to be intentional, because what you're doing is you're cutting to the chase, right? Like, we remove the fluff, we cut to the chase, and then we start actually getting into the meat and potatoes so that we can focus on seeing if there's something there, instead of spending a lot of time on a call. And now we're making 100 calls to book one appointment, right? Versus if I just kind of cut to the chase a little bit and be more strategic about the call, I can eliminate a lot of the fluff. I can shorten my calls. I can move on from that call if there's nothing there, and I can start getting to the next one and get closer to the yes, get closer to, yeah, let's meet, get closer to, yeah, let's go look at homes, or whatever that might be. You guys see the angle there, right? I'd rather you come in here and be like a sharpshooter, like an assassin, and like make 20 calls and book 2 appointments, versus like, oh, I was just calling all day. I made 400 calls. That's exhausting, right? 400 calls. Well, shit, what the hell are you talking about? 400 calls, right? Like, we want to bring that thing down, right? You guys follow me? Okay. So is the lead still active? What's their timeline? What's their motivation? Can I solve a problem or create urgency today? Right? Feel free to take notes. I will send this doc to you. But what I want you to think of now is, out of this mindset, like, what am I currently not doing? Or have I been approaching it a different way? Right? Like, where's the adjustment that needs to be made in my approach? Right? Some of you guys, like, raise your hand if you just call to check in, and it's okay, because a lot of us do that, right? Anybody just call to check in? Yeah, I've done that before, right? But that's why we're training you, like, hey, let's move away from checking in. Let's get more to like, hey, this is what happened last time. Where are you at with that, right? Okay, any questions, guys?
Question.
Yes.
You give me an example of how you would initiate the conversation if this is somebody who you haven't previously spoke to.
Oh, you're getting ahead of me. We're going to get to that. Yep.
We're
going to get to that in just a second. That's part of this training.
Okay.
Great question, though. I like where your head's going. So yeah, we'll get to that right now. Okay. So this is part 2, where there's the pre-call planning using Follow-Up Boss. What I want you guys to realize is Follow-Up Boss has so much information that you can use to now attack this call strategically. But some of us, because I've heard this, we're not even looking at the notes. We're not even looking at, was the client online? We're not even looking at like, what's the history of this call? We're just calling like blindly, right? Hey, just calling to see if you're still looking to buy or sell a home. So like, when we have all this information that now I can use and I can attack the lead strategically versus just being really, really open-ended, right? So
really quick, I just want to add something, because when you go into it, when you give them something familiar, when you call somebody and you give them something familiar, the job relocation, their guard naturally drops. They're more receptive to hear you out. So that's why it's good that you're using the information we have here, because it's something they recognize and they're willing to hear you out at that time.
Exactly, right? Like, if let's say I just got this lead assigned to me. It's an old lead, it's in the pond or whatever I'm calling it. If I'm just calling it like as like a general call, hey, it's Mike, PRG Real Estate. Looks like we met through Zillow. Just calling to see, are you guys still looking to buy? What does the client hear most of the time in that call? What was it? Sales call. They hear sales call, right? Versus, hey, it's Mike, PRG Real Estate. We connected through Zillow. I was looking through my notes. I understand you were going through a job relocation, right? And so I wanted to follow up on that and see how that thing was going. You see how that's a different call? More personal, right? Because now what happens when someone hears a sales call, or when they think salesperson, what do people typically do? Not interested. No. They hang up, right? It's more of a knee-jerk reaction, right? It's more of just the auto response. But when you go job relocation, they're like, well, how do you know that, right? Like, right? Oh yeah, and then they're like, okay, now they're more curious about like, oh yeah, I do remember talking to you, right? Now it's a little bit, they're more intrigued and they're more willing to open up and more willing to talk, right? So by you finding something in there that is more personal to them, they're going to be willing to open up more, right? And then now there's more context to that call, and you can strategically lead that call in the direction that you want, right? Is that going to guarantee an appointment? No, but it's going to get you a lot further, which is the goal of this training, was how do I make less calls and get more appointments, right? That's the goal. Okay, so you want to review and assess a lead in 2 minutes or less, right? You want to look at your smart lists. Number 1, new leads daily, hot prospects weekly, nurture monthly, important call ASAP. The reason we want to look at these, and I'm going to pull up Follow-Up Boss so you guys can see, share this tab, is because your leads are already filtered out in the smart list based off certain criteria. This criteria will give you ammunition, right? So if it's important, call ASAP, I can go to the filters and see, why is this under important call ASAP, right? Well, it's important call ASAP because the lead is not under contract, active listing, or listing agreement. So there's no deal happening, right? The last activity was less than 14 days ago, meaning they did something. They went on the website. They responded to something. That client did some sort of activity within the last 2 weeks, right? The last communication was more than 12 hours ago, so no one's called it within the last 12 hours or texted it or anything. And the system gave it some sort of tag, either Y priority, hand raiser, they looked at a report, they want a cash offer, or the AI is saying they need to be followed up with. So now what I can do is I can quickly go to that interaction, and now I can see, okay, what's my angle here? What's my approach? So now I'm taking a more strategic approach with this call and not just, hey, checking in, right? Now I'm saying, okay, well, what made this appear in my important box? Well, hey, oh, I see. It's because they freaking looked at a property 5 times. So when I call, now I'm going to be talking about that property, not just saying, hey, I'm checking in, you're still looking to buy, right? That's the big difference right there, is you're now approaching these things very, very strategically, right? So you want to go through important call ASAP, new leads daily, new leads meaning the lead was created 10 days or less, right? It's a new lead that hit the system. This wasn't already in our pond. This is a new lead within the last 10 days. So that means that client is doing something, right? Like they took some sort of action to end up in your inbox within the last 10 days, right? So motivation or level of interest is going to be the highest that first week or those first 10 days, right? Last communication was more than 1 day ago, and this lead is still under lead, attempted contact, spoke with customer, which means an appointment hasn't been set. So now I'm trying to see, okay, well, if that lead came in within the last 10 days, how did the lead come in? What site did it come in from? Why did it hit my inbox? What was the property they were looking at? What made that lead come in, right? So now I'm formulating my game plan. You guys see that? My strategy. All right, let me know if I'm going too fast, guys. Okay. Who can repeat that to me? Like, just summarize what I just said right now. Maybe like, what are you understanding that I'm saying right now?
I think.
Hold on, not you. I was one of these guys. What are you understanding that I'm saying, Adrian?
Well, just read the notes and refer to the notes and use that as ammo.
Okay, refer to the notes, read the notes, use that as ammo. Okay.
Filter on the right side is going to have more details on why we're calling them, and that will lead us to be able to investigate further in the information that we have.
Bingo, right? Read the notes, get the ammo, understand the filters, and understand why they're in that section so that you can now investigate what actually happened, right? Now I can create more conversational points and things that I'm going to hit. You guys get that? Does anybody not follow that? 'Cause I want to stop right there. I want to make sure we all understand why we're doing this. Anybody at home, any questions on this? This is your chance to ask, right? If I'm going too fast, I'm going to slow down. We're going to break this thing
And I
down.
want you guys to understand, the majority of us here, I think there's maybe 2 people that I'm seeing on the floor that are newer to follow up on, right?
Yeah.
So some of this you've seen it before, but Enrique set this up so now he's breaking it down. Now we have a body of work. We've been using this for about 8 months now.
Yep.
So for Michael and Isha, this is newer, so it's maybe a little overwhelming to learn the dashboard. But majority of you guys here, now he's going, Enrique broke it down. So now we're finding where we can leverage information to go to make connections.
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing now. You guys are you guys get it.
Yeah. If I had to just simplify it, right? Look at the notes, like you guys said.
Yeah.
Look at how that lead came into our inbox and why it came in, so you can find ammo.
Filter on the right side. How are those defined? You know what I mean?
So these are so that's a good question. So how are those filters defined? These are these are strategies that we've built, right? I've done coaching with our follow-up boss rep. Like, if you have all your leads, these are how we would want to filter them out so that we're attacking all the different segments. That's basically what it is. So we can filter out any way we want, but these are the ones that we came up with that we think need to be paid attention to.
But like on the right side, you know how it's tagged a certain way when we look at the filter?
Yeah.
And it has certain wording for it.
We're going to go through that right now in a
Oh,
second.
okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So when you're pre-planning, right, before I pick up the phone and make a call, I'm going to do a quick skim through, right? It should take 2 minutes or less, right? Once you get good at this, like, you can look at it within 30 seconds. Like, okay, I see the angle. I see what's happening. Now I'm going to call it, right? You're looking at their profile, right? You're reviewing their profile, the last activity and communication date, the website activity, right? Share this tab. All right. So you're looking at their profile, last activity and communication date, website activity, any tags that are on there, any notes from any past calls or texts or emails, any notes from if there was another agent on that thing, any campaigns or action plans currently running, right? And so I'm going to show you how to do that, right? So I'm going to pick a lead right here. I'm just going to pick on this one. Here we go. Okay, so Tanya got this lead. Let me see. I'm going to go to important, right? Because this is what I would do, right? If I'm coming in to follow up boss and I'm about to attack my leads, I'm first going to start off at important, and I'm going to pick a lead. I'm going to pick this first one, and I'm going to now do a quick assessment. So what it told me to assess was website activity. I'll first start off on the left. Let me go on the left, right? What is this lead telling me right now on the left? So Tanya, you're the example right here. So this is your lead. So just by looking at this little details page, give me a quick rundown of what this lead is telling you.
I don't think that's my lead, but this is a buyer.
So yeah,
This is a
start from
buyer.
the top. Stage.
Oh, I can't. It's blurred out on my end. I can't see that. Oh wait, sorry. Nurture. Sorry, nurture. It tells me when the status expires. Tells me the source, the price range, the time frame that they're looking to buy in, and then the tags also.
Okay, what can you tell me from these tags, right? Let's go through these tags really quick.
It seems like they've engaged with AI. They're buyers. I don't know what the Raina worm checks are.
So Raya is the AI. Raya is the name of the AI robot or whatever.
Okay.
So that means Raya has already done some sort of check-ins with them. And they've engaged with the AI. If it has an AI tag, that means they responded and kind of went back and forth with the AI.
Okay. It looks like they've returned to searching. They've connected through Zillow or with Zillow, and they've either, guessing they've inquired through Zillow for a property tour.
Perfect. Okay, so just stop right there, right? That's great observation. This is what you should be doing. First step, right, is let me look at this lead and let me just get a quick rundown of the details. I know when the lead came in, I know what price range, I know their time frame, and I know based off the tags really quickly, in 10 seconds, I can see that they've engaged. I can see it's a buyer. I can see they've returned to our website, and I can see that they were connected through Zillow, and they also probably requested a property tour at one point. So you see how that tells you just right there, that tells you a lot of information that now I can start using on this call, right? Okay, so that's step one. Okay, now the cool thing, guys, is that instead of you having to read all the notes, we have this feature in Follow Up Boss that just gives you a summary of the notes, right? So I'm going to skim through this really quick. Activity summary. The client entered the CRM inquiring about purchasing a home. Specific details on property or source are not available. The lead came in January. They expressed interest in looking at this home, right? 95136. Anybody know where that's at? This was the price. During the initial call, they wanted to review a home at 2. The home was 4 beds, 3 baths. On the 30th, they requested about another home. On the 1st, they submitted a loan application with Jason. They mentioned they received pre-approval, right? So now I'm scanning. The agent told them about a price reduction on this home in East Palo Alto, right? So just really quickly, I can kind of read those bullet points and I can see what's been happening with this lead so far. You see how powerful that information is, right? So now when I'm talking, I can say, hey, looks like you talked to our lender in the past. Hey, looks like there was a home that had a price reduction that you guys were interested in. Did you guys ever do anything with that one, right? And then suggested tasks. Follow up, see if they still have any specific properties in mind. Ask if they have a time frame for resuming their home search or consider their previous pause due to family matters. So it even told me they paused due to family matters. Question? Okay. Now what I can do step further is I can now see the homes that they've been looking at. So look at this. 25 minutes ago, they looked at this home. 25 minutes ago, this home. Same home. Okay. How many times did they view this home? 4 times, the same home. So when I'm calling them, what am I calling about? What's natural? Okay, so naturally, you know all that info. They looked at a home 4 times. What would be in the last 25 minutes? What would be the natural next step, or what's my angle when I call this person?
Would you like to take a tour of this property?
Bam, bingo. There we go, right? So when I'm calling, I'm not calling to check in. I'm not calling to see how's the weather. I'm not calling to see how was vacation. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I am calling because they looked at a home 4 times. I have all this data on them. I know they're shopping. I know the zip codes that they're looking at. I'm saying, hey guys, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to step further is I'm going to click on that home, right? Open it up. I'm going to get an assessment of this property. This is now where you're being a ninja right here, right? I'm going to take a look at the home, get familiar with it real quick, kind of see, what it looks like. If I want to be even more of a ninja, I'm going to pull up the disclosures. I'm going to pull it up on the MLS. Like if this is a hot client, I'm going to go a couple steps further, see who the listing agent is, all that good stuff. Know what area it's in. Hey, guess what? I know this agent, my boy Ani, right? This is actually a good friend of mine, EXP, right? So when I call her, I'm like, hey, I noticed you guys were looking at that home a few times. Actually, great news. That's actually my colleague's listing. I got some inside information. Offers are due on this date. Wondering if you guys want to take a look at it, right? You see how that call is a lot different from, hey, I'm just checking in, right? Hey, I actually know that area very well. It's a great area. Do you guys know much about the area? I can tell you a little bit more. Now, is that value when I'm calling this guy or this client, right? I'm giving them context. I'm giving them value. I'm letting them know, hey, I'm in tune with what you're doing and what actions you're taking on the site, right? And hey, I'd love to get you out there and just, go check it out and go from there. And now I'm moving it to the next step, right? And we already know how it goes, right? You go show them a home, you're building rapport. Hey, what do you think about this home? Hey, you guys want to make an offer? Let's set up an offer consultation. Or hey, if this is not the right home, or hey, if you have time, I'll bring 2 other homes that maybe match the same criteria. We'll go take a look at them. And now what are you slowly doing with that client? Yeah, moving them forward, building rapport, moving them to the next step in the process, right? Okay. Questions. Let's stop right here. Questions. Okay, pro tip. Pro tip right here. Open with the question referencing the most recent activity to show you're paying attention, right? So when you open, right? Hey, noticed you were on the site. You guys looked at this property on Belden. Have you guys had a chance to look at that one, right? Or, hey, noticed you were doing this, or hey, noticed you were doing that, or hey, noticed, the last time we talked, this was going on, right? Wanted to check in on that specifically, right? Okay. Question, go for it.
So that's what I was gonna ask. Wouldn't you initially ask, oh, how's it going with the family? And then go into the home? But here's the thing, a lot of people look at properties just for funsies sometimes.
4 times. Came back 4 times.
That's true.
If they're looking at just one at a time, but when someone's looked at a home more than 3 times, the same home, you should attack that, right?
I think, when it comes down to, you have many options in that scenario, right? You can go with the family, you can go here, right? What are you comfortable approaching? What are you comfortable doing? Me, I'm with Enrique. I'm leading with that property all day long. I'm leading with that property, and then you can circle back and add in the family. That's when you get really good, right? You're going to leverage all that information and pull it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
But initially, remember, what was the goal of this training?
To get more appointments with less calls.
Get more appointments with less calls, right? So Adrian, you make a lot of calls, bro. Great. I want you getting more appointments with less calls. I want you making half the calls by being strategic and getting double the amount of appointments. So that means cut out some of the fluff, move on, right? Like, you're still going to have some engagement, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not just saying, hey, do you want to buy this house? Like, no, that's not it, right? But I want you to think in your mind, hey, my goal is look at what's going on and attack that. And while I'm attacking that, I can, check in. Hey, I remember last time something was going on with the family. Are things better now, right? You can do that, right? But I would lead in, because remember, sometimes you have that first 10 seconds to grab their attention before they go, I'm busy right now. Can you call me later? Hey, we're no longer interested, right? Well, yeah, you're no longer interested because we didn't talk about anything interesting.
Yeah.
That's why people are no longer interested. If you're getting not interested, guys, it's because you're not talking about anything interesting. So remember that, right? But if I'm talking about what you're interested in, they're going to want to hear more, right? I just made that up, bro. That's bars right there, right? Save that, write that down. But if you think about it logically, right? Okay, if you're not talking about anything that resonates with me, then I'm not really interested in talking right now. Yeah, because that's not valuable to me. And remember, I don't know you on a personal level. You're just some realtor. That's what clients think. So if there's not really a value exchange, then I don't really have a lot of time for you.
Right.
I will only make time when there is something that is worth me talking about, right? So give them something to talk about, right? Remember that song? Let's give them something to talk about. You guys see Step Brothers? All right. Part 3. Call strategy by lead type. We're going to go through 3 different lead types: buyer leads, seller leads, and just plain old database past client leads, right? How to approach these. Okay, and then we're going to do some role play. Part 3, call strategy by lead type. Buyer leads, right? We kind of already went into this, right? Opening for a buyer lead should always reference what action they took. Hey, I saw you were checking out that property, right? Is that area still a focus for you? Right? Questions. What's your ideal timeline for making a move? Are you already pre-approved or just exploring right now? What's prompting the move? Are you just curious or something specific? Right? And then the close or the call to action is, hey, let's set up a quick 15-minute game plan, or let's go see that home in person. Hey, I'm happy to go show you that home. Right? Hey, you guys have, you have time on Saturday or, to go check out that home? I'm happy to go show it to you. If someone says, yes, show me that home, are they showing interest? Yeah, of course. Right? Question? Was there a question? Okay. Now let me answer this question for you, because I already know. Well, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to drive out to a property and show a house when they're not pre-approved or when whatever, right? Guess what, guys? This is your job. You're going to go show houses, and you're going to go show a lot of houses, and they're not going to all buy that house. That's what you signed up for as a real estate professional. And you're going to have to drive to Hayward, right? Or Hollister, right? Or San Bruno or Los Altos or whatever, and you're going to roll the dice, guys. You're going to roll the dice. So if you don't know that yet, right, you're going to roll the dice. But this is why you be strategic. This is why you ask qualifying questions, right? This is why, you know, you make smart decisions. But you're going to go out there and you're going to show some homes that they don't end up buying. And there will be people you show homes to that don't end up buying with you, right? But if you show enough homes, you will close X amount of deals, right? And you will get paid very, very well to do it. So raise your hand if you fully understand that you will waste some time. You will invest some time, where you may not see an immediate return on your investment.
How many have you done that already?
How many of you guys have showed homes to a buyer and multiple homes and they didn't end up buying with you? Or you found out they bought with somebody else? Raise 2 hands if that's ever happened to you. All right. Okay, we're in the right room. I just want to make sure we know that, because sometimes we're like, well, I don't want to drive to Oakland. I don't want to drive to San Francisco. Okay, unless you got deals falling out of your ears, you're driving to Oakland and driving to San Francisco, guys. I don't know any way to slice it or dice it, but you're going to go out there and you're going to put yourself out there and you got to talk to people and you got to show homes. You got to deliver value. And if you do that consistently, guys, the deals will close. You will meet with sellers, a lot of sellers who don't end up signing a listing agreement, but the ones will. And then you'll double end a deal, or you'll get your deal in contract in 6 weeks or in 6 days. And then did they refer you a client? Okay. So Blanca got a Zillow Flex seller, went out there, crushed it. They interviewed multiple agents. She went back and forth. It wasn't a guarantee she was going to get that listing. She got the listing, sells it in 6 days. And now they just referred her another what? Buyer or seller? Another seller. And they're meeting next week, and it's a home in Hollister, and it's a bigger home? Okay.
And she doesn't have to pay this.
And she doesn't have to pay Zillow now, just FYI, right? Amazing job, right? Let's give it up for Blanca. Let's go. Okay, but when Blanca went out there, like it was just a lead. It's just an appointment, right? Like she could have wasted her time. She could have drove back and forth to Hollister a couple of times and not gotten that deal. But that's the risk she was willing to take, right? So I just want to make sure we know that, because sometimes we're like already making these decisions before we go out there, right? And so like, hey, let's go see that home in person. There's only so much I could do over the phone. I can't really close somebody over the phone. But if I'm out there shopping for homes with them, touring, you know, rubbing elbows, talking to the kids and doing all this stuff, I have a much better chance of making that deal happen, right? So you got to go out there, guys. You're going to be best when you are in front of a person, right? So just offer to show the home. Hey, I saw you were looking at 123 Main Street. You guys want to go take a look at it? So raise your hand and like if that necessarily wasn't your approach before. Like just like offering to go show the home without knowing much, right? Sometimes we're like, well, are you pre-qualified? What's your timeline? What's your motivation? You want to talk to my lender first? You want to do this? Like we're pre-qualifying them out before we even go do something, right?
And look at what we've been taught with Zillow.
What are we taught with Zillow? What's the acronym? ALM, appointment first. Don't pre-qual. Get in front of them, because they know that if you're in front of more people, they convert to more deals. All right, I think I drove the point home. Seller leads. Hi, Michael. I saw you've been checking out home values in San Jose, or I saw you've been checking out the home value report that I sent you. Were you just curious or thinking about making a move, right? Did you get the home value report? Well, you know they got it because you can see they opened it 5 times, right? So like get right into it. Hey, it's Michael, PRG Real Estate. Hey, we had connected before on Zillow or whatever at an open house. You know, I sent you some home value estimate. Saw you guys checked it out a few times. Just curious what you think about the home value report. Were you guys just kind of curious, or are you guys thinking of making some moves down the line? Right? Or hey, what you think about the home value report? Was the number high, low? Was it more or less than you expected? So now there's something that we could talk about. Who doesn't want to talk about their home value? Right? It's very, very rare that if you ask that question, I'm not interested, right? Because you're not asking them to sell. You're not asking them to sign anything. You're just saying, hey, I sent you the report. Noticed you guys were checking it out. What'd you guys think of the number? Is there a right or wrong answer to that?
You're not asking for a commitment. You're not, yeah.
Okay, so I want to just see what you guys naturally think. So if you asked me what they thought about the number and I said, oh, that number's too low, what would be your natural response?
Why is it too low? Why do you think it's too low?
Okay, that's one option. What will be your natural response?
Let's look at this.
Go ahead, Richa.
Let's look at the comparatives of the recent sold and we can talk about it.
Okay, what will be your natural response, Mark? If I said, ah, the number's way too low. Okay, what else?
I would ask what number they had in mind.
What number do you had in mind? Rob, what would you say, bro? They got the automated home value report and they're, oh yeah, that number is way low. What would you say?
Probably sympathize with them and say, hey, listen, I can totally understand that. Why don't, make a recommendation? How about we go ahead and kind of schedule about 15-20 minutes to go over the numbers, and then at that point, you can make a decision and take the next steps.
All right, I like that. All right, so what he did is he empathized with them. Hey, totally understand. Maybe that number's a little less than you expected, but I would just reiterate, hey, you know what? Honestly, these are just like automated reports, right? Where they just kind of take general information, doesn't take really in consideration, your condition of your property, any upgrades you may have done. Just curious, what's the condition of your property, right? Now I'm talking about the home, right? Or, hey, I'd love to put together a customized report, right? This was kind of just automated, and so it could be inaccurate, but my custom one will actually be really tailored to you, right? Hey, by the way, what were your guys' timeline, right? To sell? Or, hey, what prompted you guys to check this thing out in the first place? Were you just simply curious? Were you guys planning to move, looking to buy and sell? Anything like that down the line?
I think what comes into play there after you do that, that part that you and Rob are doing, you go right into your SQS.
Mhm.
Right? This is a summary of the SQS.
Yeah.
But I think that's where after you ask that question and you answer them back, in regard to the response, then you just kind of revert back to the SQS, right?
Yep.
It's the same thing with the LP model.
And if we go back to the beginning, right, when it said, what should our call answer? What was it, Antonio? What should our call answer? The lead's still active. Timeline, motivation, and right here, can I solve a problem or create urgency? The only way you're going to know what problem or if you can create urgency is by asking questions and then hearing them out and kind of seeing what's going on with their situation. Then you can say, okay, I got to insert this or I got to insert that, right? So you want to do less talking, more question asking, let them open up and talk. And then you can say, hey, well, based off everything you're telling me, this is what I recommend. Based off of that situation, this is what I recommend, right? Okay. How are we doing on time? 12:43. So you can further ask, have you made any updates since we last connected, right? Hey, I'd love to stop by for a quick 15-minute visit and give you, more of a ballpark or more of a customized approach for recent sales, right? If they say, yeah, hey, I'm looking to sell. Hey, great. Like Rob said, I can come by for 15 minutes, take a look and give you a more customized approach. And if they're inviting you to their house, what are they showing? Interest, right? That's the key thing. Okay. Any questions, guys, on the seller lead stuff? Right. Okay. The last scenario, right? You got a sphere, a past client, or just someone in your database. With these, you're going to want to check in on what sort of, depending on what relationship you have with them, right? Is what I would say. So if you help them buy a home and you're calling to check in, what should you be checking in about? The home, right? If you help them sell and they just relocated to Washington, what should you be checking in about? How's Washington, right? Not how's the home we sold. We'll freaking live there. Just want to make sure you guys are paying attention, right? Hey, just want to see how's the home we sold, right? All right. You should be checking in about Washington, right? Like, right. So hey, just calling to check in about what I helped you do, right? How's the house going? How's the house in Los Altos we just helped you buy? You guys settled in, right? How you guys enjoying it? Hey, any plans to, refinance or model, make any moves this year, anything like that, right? Like if they just bought a house last week, you're not really gonna, hey, any plans to, sell this house, right? Like, so read the room, right? Read the room. But that could be more, hey, I'm just calling to see how everything's going with the house, right? I just want to check in, make sure you guys are settling in all right, see if you guys, need anything. You guys get all the documents, all that stuff, right? All those things. And so that's more of a light touch, right?
I like the idea too of also offering them, like, for us, we have a few events that we invite to, right, Enrique?
Mhm.
So that's something that I think it's important to always give back to the clients.
Yep.
Right, so that in that case, when you're inviting to the, PRG day at the park, you're giving them something. Right, and then it leads into, hey, how's the property? How's the house? How's Washington? How's all that good stuff?
And keep in mind with like your sphere, your past clients, your database, these are going to be more like quarterly calls, right? So it's not like, hey, I just sold your house last week and I'm calling you. Hey, any new changes? Right? No, right? It's like, hey, I sold your house 3 months ago. Now I'm just, I'm going to check in periodically, just check in on you, right? Customer service. How's everything going with the house? How's everything going with your guys' move? All those different things. And then value points that you can mention, right? You can give them an update on, hey, just, I always like to just give my past clients a quick update on the market, right? In case you have any friends or family that may need anything, right? Right now we're seeing this, right now we're seeing that. Real quick, right? Like a quick 10-second, hey, still a buyer's market. Hey, still a seller's market. Hey, we're seeing rates have actually come down since the last time we worked together, right? In case you have any friends or family that might need anything, just always want to keep people informed, right? Or hey, just I've been keeping an eye on your home value. Hey, since we spoke 6 months ago, it actually went up 50 grand. Just want to congratulate you. You got some equity, right? Or hey, I want to let you know, like the rates really dropped, right? From 6 months ago to now. There's some refinance opportunities. If you'd like to know more about that, I'm happy to connect you with our lender, right? Or if it's an investor or somebody else that is looking to buy, hey, we're coming across some off-market deals. Or hey, we got several listings. We got 14 listings coming up for sale. In case you have any friends or family that are looking to get into the market, I'm happy to share a list with you, right? And so what I'm doing is when I'm calling these people, I'm checking in about the subject. Did I help them buy? Did I help them sell? And then I'm offering them some points of value that I just want to throw out there and kind of put some feelers out in case they know somebody that may want to take advantage of that. That could be a simple 5-minute call. And most of the time, what are they going to say?
I'm okay.
No, thanks for checking in. Everything's good. No, I'm okay. Or, oh, thanks for checking in. By the way, how can I get a copy of that insurance document or that home warranty thing? I think I got a leak in my dishwasher. Hey, love to help you get that, right? And now you're doing a customer service, but then what that shows to your client is value, right? And then you're also telling them about these opportunities. So now their radar is kind of on because they just talked to you. When they're at work, when they're at a barbecue and their cousin's looking to buy, oh, you should talk to my realtor. You should talk to Blanca. Actually, they have like 14 homes coming on the market. You see that? Like, by us kind of planting those seeds and meeting them where they're at and giving that value, now they're going to be your advocate to go out there and promote you. So if there's anything they want, call to action, set up a quick 10-minute market review. If you know anyone who needs help, I'd love to help them the way I helped you, right? It's a quick, easy, soft, no pressure for following up with your sphere, past clients, and database. Now, most people, guys, what I'm going to tell you right now is most agents suck at this. This is like the part where most agents drop the ball, is we're just chasing new leads, the new Zillows, the new open house leads, the new whoever from social media, right? And we fail to neglect that we have this gold mine of people that already know us, like us, trust us, gave us a 5-star review, who can be the ones sending you referrals left and right, which would be a lot easier to convert than a Zillow lead or than an open house lead. And you get paid a lot more off of that lead, right? So you should absolutely be following up with all of your past clients every single quarter for a quick 5-minute check-in. That needs to be on your calendar, right? In fact, what I would urge you guys to do is right after this meeting, block out that date in your calendar for the next year. Okay, every quarter on this Friday, I'm spending 2 hours just calling my past clients, right? Once a quarter. If they don't answer, I leave them a message or I send them a quick video message. I'm telling you right now, like if you just make a commitment to do that, your business over time will freaking blow up and it'll get easier and you will get paid more, right? But most agents won't do it.
I mean, again, just looking at our stats, our numbers are our SOI are the most units we've closed, right? And you look at, so that's where we got to double down. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah. If 50 to 60% of our business comes from SOI repeat referral business, like 50 to 60% of our effort should be there, right? Going after that. Okay. Questions? Any questions? We're going to do some, we got 9 minutes to do a little bit of role play right now.
It's an off-topic question.
Okay.
So-
Go ahead and ask it, but if it's too off topic, because we only have 9 minutes left, I want to make sure we get role play.
Okay, it's basically how to get a new lead, sign the touring agreement on the first property that we are seeing. Most of them have a hesitation that they have never met me, or they don't sign it right away, like a single property agreement, because there is a commission, there is a binding agreement.
Okay. That's a whole training right there. I did a training, an hour training on just on that. I'll
Okay.
send you the video once we're done. I highly suggest you watch that video because
Okay.
it's going to be a lot better than the 1 minute answer I gave you right now.
Okay.
But I have a whole video on that I think will be really helpful for you.
Mhm.
Can you do me a favor and just ping me in Slack, send me a message in Slack, and then I'll get that to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right, role play. Who wants to come up? Who wants to do this? What we're gonna do is we're just gonna run through like, okay, pre-screen, what's your angle, and then just hit the intro on me. That's what we're gonna do. Come on, guys, don't be afraid.
Where do we go? I'll do it. I just don't.
Okay, all right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna pick. Well, actually, I'm gonna pick one of your leads because I assigned. So Michael's gonna try it.
Yeah, I want to give it a go.
How come it's only our newest people that always want to try, and our people who've been here, they never want to put themselves out there? Let's go. Let's go.
The new person doesn't know the fire rate.
I don't know. It's just okay. So Michael,
You guys have been doing it way longer.
okay. So I'm gonna pick a lead. This is a random lead. This one's already assigned to Michael. Okay. And so we're gonna walk through these steps, right?
Okay, so let me know.
So what I want you to do is quickly pre-screen this lead, right? By looking at the details and looking at the activity. So what can you tell me just by looking at this lead right here?
Yeah, so seller, he went back to the software that he was using. He checked his home value. It looked like I can't find the software right now that I'm looking at, so I don't know what he returned to. But 94404, right? So that's the zip code. And that's what I got. That's all I got right there.
Okay.
You know, and then I'm still looking.
So
he logged in 3 times, right? So he visited 2 times, logged in 2 times, seller visited 2 times.
You could go a step further and look at some of these links. So Stars link is going to be like for a buyer search. Fellow is an old system we use for home values. We don't use it anymore, but he has a YLOPO seller report, right? So you could even click this,
Please.
and then it's going to pull up this tab and it's going to load this report. And so I can see the report that he has, or that's been sent to him. If it ever loads. Okay.
Okay, so then it's yeah. So his home value was reported at a little north of 850,000, and then we're looking at how it's changed.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got a little bit of ammo, right?
Yeah.
How many buyers we have for homes like yours? Hey, we have 8 buyers looking in that area.
Okay.
You could even get some ammo on his house, right? Like beds, baths. Okay.
That'd be too far though. I'd be going too far now. That's just for me.
Okay.
And then that's it pretty much.
Okay.
On the side, and then I just call, I'd be calling, and as I called, I'd be looking at the AI information. And then I see the first time was in February 1st. We're looking at Beach Park Boulevard, and then going, that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it.
So since entering, right, let's look at this. Oh, shoot, let me share this tab.
That would be it.
Active summary, right? He came in on February. Since entering, Robert called him multiple times. Most recent call in March. Robert received a call from Brendan. Right.
And then,
Then you called him, right? Let's just assume you didn't call him, right? So now let's go back to follow up like a boss. This is a seller lead.
Okay.
So what would be your angle with this guy? Well, what actions did he take?
Yeah. Hi, Robert. I saw you've been checking your home value in the Foster City area. Were you just curious? Were you thinking about a move? I'm trying to just go based on what.
Yeah.
Were you just curious or thinking about a move? And then afterwards,
okay, so let's go.
I'm trying here.
Yeah, let's go live then, right? Ring, ring, ring. Hello?
Hi, Robert.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, Robert, this is Michael. I saw you were checking your home values in the area of Foster City. You remember that? We sent you over some information. It was valued at about $870,000. You remember receiving that?
I think so. I think I saw an email. I don't remember.
Yeah, we sent it over to you. You requested that information. So just curious, are you still thinking about that move?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Okay, we'll stop right there. Okay, so what I want to demonstrate, guys, right, is just that he came in there, quickly looked through the notes, quickly saw what we saw him, got a little bit of context. So now I know I'm putting you on the spot, but he's much more equipped now to now have a call and like have some ammo or something to talk about, right? Versus, hey, are you guys still looking to sell, right? And so what I like that he did was he even threw out the value of the home, right? He even threw out, hey, we sent you this report, you requested it, it probably went to your email. Do you remember seeing that, right? So now if I'm the guy, like I just received this random call, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember seeing something like that, right? And then now there's something to talk about. Hey, we're just curious, what prompted you to check your value, right? So with sellers, like request a home value, you always want to know why did they check? Why are you checking your value, right? No pressure. Were you guys just curious or were you guys, legitimately thinking of making a move? And then now I get to tell you, yes, I am. Yes, I'm not. And you get to now go down the rabbit hole, right? Okay, let's give it up for Mike, guys. I know you're on the spot, bro, but remember, when you pick up a call, you're going to be on the spot, right? So we got to train you to be on the spot. All right, who at home wants to try a buyer one really quick? I need a volunteer. Or else I just pick eeny, meeny, miny. Chris. Oh, Chris raised his hand first. All right.
Yeah, no, he can take it.
Okay. Let me pull something up.
Wait, Tanya's going or I'm going?
Chris, you're going,
you're
bro.
going?
I saw you first.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna actually pull up one of your leads because I want to. Chris. Okay, you got. Just pull up this one. So this is a flex lead. Okay, so really quick, share this tab. This is one of your leads right here.
Go on.
So based off of, right, like if you hadn't called this lead before,
Right.
based off of this, what can you tell me about this lead?
Looks like, based on what I know, it looks like it's attempted contact. It's a Zillow lead. It's a buyer lead. And yeah, price point 3,600. So that's important because they may, and this is the reason I call is say, hey, just, I guess from my head is a clarification. Are they looking to rent or buy?
There you go.
That's what that kind of gives me a little insight. So maybe call, hey, just curious, like acting confused. Hey, just curious, are you looking, like I would clarify it during the call. I would clarify.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time frame. What's the time frame it's telling you?
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. Yeah, 0 to 3 months. So
There we
they're,
go.
but they're out of that. So we're close to their original time frame.
Now let's look at this, right? So now we just got a quick glance at the details. Now
Mhm.
let's actually look at their activity online. So they
Looks
looked
like-
at this one.
Can you press on that?
Yeah, we can click on this one. Now it's going to open up. So they looked at this mobile home,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
2-bed, 2-bath mobile home in San Jose. Okay, we'll go back. They looked at something in Washington. They looked at something in Santa Clara. They looked at something in Vacaville, kind of all over the place, right? So this may be a good talking point. Hey, I noticed you were searching on our site, right? So what would be your angle, right? So now that you know just a little bit of information, what would be your angle on how you're going to approach this call, knowing what you know?
So the value information we have is timeline. He's based on the information we have, he's close to the end of his timeline. And based on the information we have, it looks like it sounds like it's a little indecisive of where he wants to live based on what we're seeing. So I would call and say, hey, hey, Dewan, this is Chris, local Zillow realtor. Hey, I'm just curious. You've been in my database. It looks like, based on what I'm seeing, looks like you had some, looking at some properties in San Jose, in Santa Clara, maybe even some Vacaville. Would it be of any value for us to hop on a call and maybe, strategize on, where it would make sense to maybe, live long term? What do you think? Like something like that, right?
Okay. So yeah, great observation. You kind of skipped straight to the call to action, right?
Mhm.
So what I would coach you on is add a little bit more understanding of their information before you make a recommendation, right? Because you don't want to make a recommendation if you don't know yet if that's someone you should meet with, right?
Yeah.
So right here, opening line, pretty much kind of what you said. Hey, I saw you were in our database, saw you were online, saw you were looking at, ABC or 123, Main Street. Is that still the focus area for you? And then what you're trying to figure out is, hey, when do you want to make a move? Where are you at with this process? Pre-approved, just exploring. Hey, what's prompting the move, right? What's making you guys want to make a move in the first place, right? Okay, so let's try that one more time, right? You're calling me. I just want you just the intro really quick based off what you know in this coaching. So ring, ring, ring. Hello?
Hey, Dewan.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, Dewan, this is Chris. I'm a local realtor with Zillow. Did I catch you at a bad time?
No. What's going on?
Thank you, Dewan. Like I said, my name is Chris. I'm reaching out because it looks like you were looking at some properties here in San Jose, Santa Clara, and even one in Washington. And I help buyers just like you essentially find their place to call home. I was just curious. Help me understand where you at in the process. Have you taken a look at homes anytime recently?
Okay, boom, stop right there. Great intro, right? Like you referenced who you are, why you're calling. You reminded me that, hey, I was on your site. Hey, I looked at a few different homes. What I would do is I would get more specific on, hey, I was just curious, what area are you actually looking in? Right?
Yeah.
Like stay with that, right? Because then you can get more clarity rather than like going next to like, hey, let me help you buy a home, right? The help you buy a home will come later.
Right.
But stick with the info you have, so like he can start telling you a little bit more about what he needs, right? So that's the only thing I would tweak and edit, man. But great job, man. Skip it for Chris.
What was the question again? Because I do agree. I think if he doesn't even know where he wants to go, why am I showing homes? But I guess what was the question you asked, Enrique? What was the question?
So I would just say like, hey, noticed you on our site. Noticed you were browsing at a few homes. I saw, one in San Jose, one in Washington. I was just curious, like what area were you guys actually trying to make a move to, right? Or which area were you guys primarily focused on?
Okay.
And then I would stay quiet because then now he would be able to open up and kind of tell me the situation, right? He might say, oh, well, yeah, no, we're not looking at Washington. We're actually looking at San Jose. That was just, I was just looking at just for fun, right? But San Jose is really where we want to be. Okay, then now I can peel the onion back a little bit more. Hey, great. So it sounds like San Jose, right? Yeah, we do a lot of business in San Jose. Hey, what's your ideal, timeline, right? I saw online it said 0 to 3 months. Are you still looking to make a move in the next 3 months?
Right.
Right. So
Mhm.
once I get clarification on like what the situation is or what he's doing, then I can start now making some recommendations and peeling the onion back. All right. So that's just a little tweak there, bro, but solid job. Okay. Anybody else want to try this?
Can
So
we
let's
go-
do this. I know we're 5 minutes over right now. Sorry, because I just looked at the time. We're 5 minutes over. I want to respect everybody's time. Do you guys have 5 minutes to just pair up real quick and just do one little role play? You could pick buyer, you could pick seller. I don't care which one you pick, but just pick one of those and then just do a quick exchange. All I want you to do is think about what's my angle, what's my strategy, and then just do that quick little intro. Cool. Did anybody want to take it? I'm sorry. I know someone wanted to do it online, but Richa, you wanted to do it online? You guys want to see Richa do it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, Richa, really quick. All right, let's do this. I'm trying to keep your trainings at an hour, guys, because I know you start losing people after like 45 minutes. All right, so I'm going to pull up one of your leads, Richa. Bam. I'm going to go to a lead that only has one call, right? Because
Okay.
we're going to figure out how we're going to call this lead.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want to sell. I'm going to go with like a lot of these are. I have a lot of. Okay. All right, Richa, really quick. What can you tell me about this lead right now just by looking at?
Buyer lead attempted call. The range is 1.650. There is nurture stage. Nothing about the lender and AI engaged.
Okay, so they engaged with the AI at some point, right? This one right here.
7 months ago, was interested in 505 for Gazina Drive, San Jose.
Okay, so they looked at that home. I'm not sure if this is and then you can look quickly here, right?
Mhm.
So inquired about a property, got a call from someone already. So suggested tasks, like even follow up regarding her interest in updated listings in San Jose,
Mhm.
schedule a call, discuss any changes with their home search, right?
Mhm.
So what would your angle be, right? Before you make this call, I want you just to think, how would I approach this lead? What would you
So
focus on calling?
I will focus on the area and timeline because I don't know the timeline from the information there, but I will still focus on that. Hey, Sunita, what's your ideal timeline to make a move? I see that you were interested in San Jose property. And are you still on track on that? Are you still interested in the area? And what's your timeline?
Okay. Okay, so let's try that really quick. Ring, ring, ring. Hello?
Hello. Hi, Sunita. This is Zillow Premier Agent. I quickly wanted to connect with you in regards to your home search in San Jose area. Is there anything change in your timeline, or are you still interested to look at properties in San Jose?
Okay. Let me coach you right there, right? So what I would do is if you haven't talked to this lead in a while, I would maybe quickly clarify how we got connected. Because sometimes just saying this is Zillow Premier Agent, they don't necessarily know what that means, right?
Okay.
So I would say, hey, Richa, hey, is this Richa? Yeah, it's Richa. Hey, this is Enrique. We connected a while back through Zillow, right? We're one of the preferred agents, right? So I would just like really quick clarify how we know you, how you know us, right? Because if you don't do that, then they may just think you're just a random telemarketer calling from some company, right? So I think that's an important piece, especially if this isn't someone that you are actively talking to. They don't really know who you are. Quickly let them know how we know each other, right? Do you get what I'm saying, Richa?
Yeah, I do get that question all the time that, no, I don't remember talking to you. They might have talked to the team, someone else. So
Yeah, so you could even say that, hey, we're local realtor, we're partners with Zillow. You connected with our team some time ago, right?
okay. Mm-hmm.
Just quickly refresh their memory. Hey, and then you can go to, hey, I noticed you were on our site. I noticed you were looking in San Jose. Is that
Mhm.
still the area, right? So let's try that one more time and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hey,
Hello.
Enrique. Hey, Enrique, this is Richa, Zillow Premier Agent. I know you spoke with someone in our team a while back. I am connecting with you in regards to your home search.
Okay, keep going.
Keep going, okay. Are you interested in San Jose?
Okay, so remember, I would say, I see you had looked at a property in San Jose. Like, remind them of what action they took, right?
It's
I
7
see
months
you.
back. They won't even remember what property they looked.
So just jog their memory. Hey, I noticed, in the past you were looking at some homes in San Jose,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I remember you were looking at some homes in San Jose in past. Are you still looking, currently looking?
Okay, there, we'll stop right there. Okay, much better, right? So I want you to connect all the dots, right? Hey, it's Richa. Hey, looks like you connected with our team. Hey, I noticed you at one point you were looking at some homes in San Jose. Is that still the area that you're looking in, right? You see, because now what I'm trying to get from her, what are you trying to get from that client?
If they are still looking, no?
Are they still looking? What else? More specific. What area? Is San Jose the area, right?
An appointment.
Right, but I'm saying, what am I trying to find out in that first, minute?
Timeline.
I'm trying to find out, are they still active? Are they still motivated? Is San Jose still the area? Timeline, right? Like, because then from there I can start opening up the conversation, right? Right. So
So what
like, we
would you
can't just
say?
get to the end. I'm sorry.
What would you say?
I mean, I would say exactly what I just told you, right? Like, hey, hey, it's Enrique. Hey, let me role play. You say hello. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, Richa.
Yes.
Hey, Richa, it's Enrique, local real estate agent. I believe you connected with our team in the past via Zillow. Yeah, I was just calling to follow up with you because I know you were looking at some homes in San Jose in the past. Is that still the area you're looking in?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay. You are still looking in San Jose. Awesome. Did you ever go look at any homes?
No, not recently. We stopped it for a while.
Oh, okay. What changed? What happened?
We're currently not looking because of the market condition.
Oh, market conditions. Okay. Was it more you couldn't find the right home, or was it more maybe the numbers didn't work out for you? What was it about the market conditions?
Yeah, interest rates are too high. We can't afford the
Oh,
mortgage payments.
yeah, totally understand. The interest rates have kind of fluctuated. Have you ever sat down with a lender and maybe took advantage of or saw some of the programs they have right now where you can get your rates down a little bit lower?
Not right now. We did it a couple of months back and then we stopped there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you know what I find helpful for a lot of my clients is just getting kind of a re-update on where they stand financially. Actually, let me give you an example. Like, we just helped this one buyer recently, where we got them down to a 4.5% interest rate. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Yeah. So I'd love to show you some of those options. And, like I said, I know you're kind of still exploring, but at least, show you what options are available to you. Would it be crazy to, jump on a quick 15-minute call with my partner and kind of show you the numbers?
Yeah, I can think about it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna stop right there. So you see what I want to show you is because a lot of times, like, you feel like, oh, they're just kind of like trying to close this thing off. I'm going to keep asking questions. You stopped because of the market. Well, what was it about the market? Right? Was it the rates? Was it you couldn't find the house? Right? So as I'm peeling that open more, I'm finding my angle, right? You were actually a little bit difficult right now, to be honest. Yeah.
A lot of salespeople in general, I think they don't want to be told no. And I would encourage you as salespeople to invite the no over the yes. And I think what happens is, I heard a great quote that if everyone keeps saying yes to you, it's not a sales call. That's just a conversation that you're having with somebody. A sales call actually happens when you have rebuttals that are in front of you. So bring those rebuttals up to front, because if it's a yes or a no, it's still the right answer as a salesperson. because it allows me to troubleshoot the conversation further, right? So if someone is saying that they're not interested, right, invite that no for them to say, no, I'm not interested. So that you can have an ability to go in there and say, well, let me ask you this, what's changed in order for you to have that type of mindset?
Yeah.
And I think if you just keep fighting for the yeses all the time, you're going to get a lot of people that are either going to go with the flow just to appease your ego, right? And you're really not going to have what's known as a sales call. You're really just going to have more of a conversation.
Yeah. So I'm perfectly fine with her saying I'm not interested,
Oh, yeah.
because I'm just going to ask, well, hey, well, what changed?
And I think what I go into, what we always lead with our trainings, Enrique, is the mindset.
Yeah.
You have to understand the mindset when you're calling these leads, that they're going to be just like what Richa doesn't have to talk to anyone for 7 months, according to this lead. So of course she's going to be very short. Right?
Yeah.
No, he's peeling that onion. He's pulling teeth.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that's what you're doing when you're calling this database, right? And providing value, providing that value, and giving the story that we got our client 4.5%. Richa's eyes lit up.
Yeah.
Because he told the story. Right. So you guys got to go back. Those are really basic things that he's doing, but that's a real call right there.
Yeah, that's a real call, right? Like you're gonna get some like, well, no, I'm not interested, right? Okay, well, hey, what changed? Hey, what happened? Right? All these different things. That's where you have to peel that onion back, because a lot of your calls are gonna be like that.
So the calls are not going to be like what Rob said. Yes, yeah, you called me at the right time. Enrique.
Hey, I was
I'm like,
waiting
"That's
for a
right,
realtor to call
you
me.
found the house. You right there right now. That doesn't exist. That's a unicorn, guys.
All right, guys. Let's wrap up. I know we went over. Thank you for your patience. I hope you got some value out of this. I'm gonna share this this paper with you, this document. But remember, do not just make the check-in calls, guys. You guys need to have an approach, an angle, a strategy. Know why you're calling them and what you're gonna lead in with, because it's gonna look different on every call, right? That one, like, was strictly like, hey, it was 7 months ago. But if Richa had looked at 4 properties yesterday and the same one 3 times, I'm just focusing on that. Hey, notice you looked at this 123 Main Street. So my approach would be different. Hey, let's go take a look. Right? Did anybody show you the inside of that one yet? All right, guys. Let's end this, guys. Thanks for showing up. Let's clap it up.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.